Hey guys, welcome to another video here on the AviationPro channel. I'm currently cruising from Chicago to Amsterdam, a long-haul flight on the VATSIM network across the North Atlantic Ocean. And I'm doing this at nighttime, local time here in the Netherlands. It's now 1 o'clock. I'm going to be busy for another, 5 hours, so it's going to be pretty late evening or early morning tonight. So in this video, I'd like to give you some tips on how to survive a long-haul flight on VATSIM. Now, of course, this right here is diehard simming. This is not something you should do often. I only fly these kind of flights. I think in my whole VATSIM career, this is maybe the 4th or 5th one. And of course, I've done some other long hauls during daytime, but this is kind of crazy. So first, some general tips on how to survive a long haul, whether it's during daytime or nighttime. All right, there's going to be either ATC or not. If there's no ATC, it's kind of more, easier to manage because you can kind of, do stuff around the house. I've made a video before on some things that you can do and can do while cruising on VATSIM. But one important thing that you should do is while cruising on a long haul, drink lots of water. Just like in real life, if you want to survive a long flight, you should drink lots of water. Helps to keep you hydrated, and of course you don't dehydrate as quickly as on a real aircraft, but you're going to be burning a lot of energy looking and thinking about the cockpit and your flight. So better just drink a lot of water, and helps to keep you going during the long haul. And of course, another important element, coffee, very important. Pilots in real life also depend a lot on coffee, I think, and this really, especially during these kind of flights, during nighttime, helps to keep you awake, helps to keep you going, gives you a little bit of an energy boost. I would say avoid the energy drinks, which contain a lot of sugar and are bad for you. Just a good cup of coffee, maybe 3 or 4, during an 8-hour flight, maybe even less, will keep you going. So make sure you make yourself a nice cup of coffee, or maybe if you fancy it, some nice tea. And the next important item, food. Food and nutrition, guys, very important when you're flying a long haul. Again, just like in real life, make sure you give yourself plenty of food. A little bit healthy, preferably. And I'll get a nice cookie. Cake. It's kind of nice. It's called breakfast cake here in the Netherlands. Helps to keep you alive with some sugar and some fiber. It's very important to get yourself a nice meal, whether it be a lunch or a dinner. Kind of make a nice meal that fits the time of day at your local time. For example, right now it's closing in on 1 o'clock again, so it's gonna be middle of the night. So I might make myself a nice bacon and eggs or whatever in a few hours. Kind of a breakfast style meal that will help me survive the last few hours of this flight, and then I just get some sleep and then have some lunch. Next, you need to keep yourself busy, so don't sit all the time. Walk around a little bit. Stand up if you can. Maybe just ditch your headset and just get a bit of movement going on. That's very important. And if you can, just do some work around the house, or clean up, whatever you can do. Again, these are flights that I personally don't do too often, maybe once or twice a year, but it's actually a nice opportunity to clean up the house or whatever, or tidy things up and make a nice fresh start. You need to pass the time a little bit, and especially if there's no ATC, this is the perfect opportunity to do so, and helps you make you get through this flight. Another thing you could do is get some exercise. Yeah, just a little bit, not too much. No, but seriously, you need to keep moving, get walking around, and if you can do some exercises, it's kind of fun. Or maybe do some push-ups, or sit-ups, whatever you can do. And again, it just helps you get through that flight, especially during daytime, where you would normally, for example, do some exercise as well. Alright, now on to some tips that are specific for flights that you fly at your local nighttime. So, like me right now, flying from Chicago to Amsterdam, following the real-world flight, and trying to stay awake and landed at Amsterdam. Now again, plenty of water and food is important. What I would recommend is try to get kind of a power nap, maybe early evening, late afternoon, kind of to hibernate and gain some energy, gain some sleep. before you actually make the flight during the night. You know, it kind of helps you, you know, stay awake during the flight itself. And you know, again, this is the die-hard flight simming stuff. It's something that you should not do too often. But you know, think of it as kind of, you know, if you were going out, you know, I'm a university student, or I was, I should say. You know, there are plenty of evenings where you would go out and be home at 4 o'clock or whatever. This is kind of similar, you know. So get a little bit of a power nap before will help you get through the night. Also, when you're doing a night flight to your local time like this, don't make it too long. I mean, this Chicago to Amsterdam flight is relatively short. It's only, you know, about 7 hours, maybe not even that long. So, you know, don't make a 12-hour flight where you just have to stay awake until, I don't know, you know, 12 o'clock in the morning your time. That's just crazy, guys. Keep those night flights short, so you can at least, you know, for example, in my case, you know, get some sleep at 7 o'clock and then maybe wake up at 11. You know, at least you had some sleep, right? So keep that in mind. Then, as you have completed your flight, you know, it's daytime. You know, it's light. It's gonna be light outside, but you're gonna be sleeping. But the best advice I would want to give, just like you know, when you're traveling in real life, you know, across the ocean, crossing time zones. Try to get used to the time zone as quickly as possible. So just get out there, get enough daylight. Don't sleep till 3 o'clock local time in the afternoon, and then you know, sleep again at you know, 11 o'clock at night again. You know, try to get some daylight. You know, keep your sleep short. You know that you're gonna have a short night in the first place, so just deal with it. Wake up. Try to wake up a little bit early, even though you had a short night, and then, you know, kind of appreciate the daylight. Go outside, and that will help you, you know, kind of make it through the day after your crazy die-hard night flight across the ocean on VATSIM.
One more tip that I'd like to give you: don't put your sound too loud, because you know, it will cost your ears energy to process all that sound. So the lower the sound, I would say, the better. Otherwise, you will just feel more tired at the end. So just kind of keep it low, and you'll be fine.
And then one last tip for you know, flights like these at your local nighttime. You know, if there's no ATC, like in my case, there's no oceanic control or whatever. You know, some of you might think, what's the point of doing this all in the first place when there's no ATC? You know, it's just something only flight simmers probably will understand. But you know, try to kind of get some power naps without fully getting asleep. You know, just lie on the bed or whatever. You know, kind of helps your body rest, so you don't have to sit up straight in the chair or walk around all the time. You know, it's okay to kind of lie down and keep an eye on things. Of course, you should not go to sleep and fall asleep. That's the prime thing that you want to avoid. But you know, just lying down and giving your body some rest already can help make that night a little bit more comfortable, and you know, feeling more awake the next morning. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video here on the AviationPro channel with some tips on how to deal with a long haul flight on VATSIM, and especially the crazy nighttime flights. Again, don't do it too often. This is probably one of my last chances to do a flight like this, because I'm you know, working on other things, as you may know. So try to enjoy it. It's great fun to experience and try sometime, but above all, just make sure it stays healthy. Don't you know, exaggerate things when doing these kind of flights, and definitely don't do them too often. I hope you have fun crossing the oceans of VATSIM and the virtual skies of VATSIM, and I will see you on the next one.